started. So colleagues, today's a very special day of linkages. We actually combined 3 fireside chats in one and I'll explain just now why we did that. So we're expecting between 20 to 30 businesses that are going to be in attendance today. Hi, Delane, how are you?
Say good morning. Good morning. I'm well, thank you. And yourselves?
Fantastic. Looking forward to hear you chat in a short while. Cool, fantastic. Colleagues, we are going to start in 2 minutes. We are recording this session, just in case if some of you all with connectivity break down and you need to be able to get back. How's it, Richard? You're sitting on page 2 all alone. I'm just looking, where is Richard? How's it, Neil?
Hey guys, hi everybody. Good morning.
Good morning. There we are.
Hi Rakash, hi everybody.
Good.
Hope everyone's
Cool.
good.
Yeah. Maybe Neil or Richard, somebody can post on the chat just to explain to the team that we're about to start. We're just waiting for Omar to join as well. Cool. Shamantha is joining from her phone for a short while. So we will start in a few minutes. Colleagues, I'll explain how today will work in a few minutes when everyone's in the class. We're expecting just about 30 or slightly above. And this is actually 3 linkages sessions. We put it in one, and I'll explain to you why we did it in this, because the type of businesses that we have in the program that we're working on have different needs. So we might have some that are built services that might be applicable to SPS tanks. We might have some that are in the cleaning environment, but nothing stops the built services to consider the cleaning kind of opportunity and products that we are showcasing today as well. It could be something that you could think about future projects in which you're going to propose, tender, and into it as well. But I will explain it again. We're just waiting for the people that come in. When you join, colleagues, please can I ask that you mute? I see we picking up nicely. I see Envirus and Stuart has joined. How's it, Alice? How are you doing?
Good morning, everyone. Hope you're well.
How's it, Stuart? We're just waiting for everyone to join. We're expecting about just above 30 to 40.
No problem. Jacques is going to sit here with me, so we'll be here together if that's okay.
Okay, fantastic. Cool. Excellent. I'm just waiting a minute more and we'll get kick-started. You'll get a feel for what we're trying to do in a few minutes. So, colleagues, for those of you that needed data support, remember Mirinda would have sent already. Hopefully, you would have received. And if you need a copy of this recording, Mirinda will make it available. She just takes a few hours to download it into YouTube, and we will make it available. I think we're getting close to the number 30. We'll just give it 1 more minute. We've got an intense program of 3 different companies, and I will set the context in a minute or 2. Neil, don't look so serious, Neil. I know it's a Monday. Come on. It's like, so Richard, you agree? He's looking so serious. Like, hi, Alice. Okay, how are you? Cool, fantastic. Colleagues, it's 3 minutes past 11 o'clock. We're going to get kick-started. Alice has got some voice problems. We probably going to get between 30 to 40 different people attending today's session. And I think welcome. I think a special welcome to our colleagues that are guests in today's. I know it's Delane from SBS Tanks. It's Omar from Suncral Chemicals. And it's Stuart and his team from Envirus. So let me set the context for the colleagues and for everyone that is here today. So, colleagues, the objective of of today's session was very, very much, we have this fireside chats. We met about a week and a half ago. We told you about how the PUM program works. In 2 weeks' time, we're going to meet and tell you about what are the programs available from IDC. In a week after that, we're going to also focus and tell you about the opportunities and the development lines of funding that's available from Old Mutual's Masisazani Fund. And in coming weeks, we'll also have the opportunity to talk to you to other partners and linkages. So this objective, colleagues of the Fireside Chat, is to create linkages, to create conversations, and say how you can. But it's not only about IDC. It's not only about CIFA. It's not only about Masisazani, which is a spin-off from Old Mutual Group. The objective is to say, how can you link your businesses in different ways? PUM was a linkage to say, can you consider technical coaching or enablement, should that be a particular need as such? So I'm very pleased this morning. We were supposed to have 3 different linkages sessions. One with SunCrowd Chemicals, one with EnviroSan, and one with SBS Tanks. But in planning for this session and meeting with the different companies, we also created and realized that we have in our cohort of just about 40 companies or so, we have different types of companies. We have companies that are built services, civil, electrical, and it's got some engineering into it. We have some that are on the cleaning, chemicals, and into it. And then we also have some that are on the services side. We have a company that does digital media and printing and graphics, attached to it. So we thought, why don't we combine? So this is actually 3 fireside chats in one, but we did it in a combined basis, because in the audience, that if you're going to invest your next hour or so of your time, you have the opportunity now. Maybe the second one doesn't apply to you, but the first and third could be very much for your construction related businesses. You could look at steel fabricated tanks, look at maybe the opportunity to install it. So colleagues, I also need to manage expectations out of today's sessions. Today is an introduction. It's a meet and greet. So for each of the colleagues that are, or partner companies that are presenting, we've worked with these companies before, so we know that they're responsible. We're not just finding anyone off the street to engage with you. We have a longer relationship with every single one of these organizations. But we think the opportunity could lie with you as in future work, you could consider and maybe proposing to the local mines, to the local municipalities, to the local CIOCs of the world for development projects around these products and services, knowing that you've met them and you've planted the seed. So out of today's session, if you are keen to meet and engage and have a conversation as to see, can you maybe look at buying the product or services? Can you look at maybe promoting it? That could be one option. Or could you maybe think about future projects as you've proposed for the bigger project? Can you possibly consider them as a spec product as such, and proposing for that assignment? So today is a meet and greet. In each particular case, we have a company that's going to give you a very quick introduction who they are. Then we're going to quickly go on to say, what are the core products and services? You've got their websites. We've shared all their websites. So Richard has kindly shared the websites for all these companies, so you can look at a deeper dive. But post the key products and services, that could be potentials for linkages, we're going to stop for a few minutes, and for 10 or 12 minutes, we're going to have some questions, clarifications, answers, and into. So we're going to do it in 3. We're combining 3 sessions. We're going to do session 1, session 2, session 3. So all our colleagues, so there's 37 people in the meeting, and they'll probably go slightly above 40 pretty soon. So all of them will have the opportunity at one go, combined 3 fireside linkages sessions in one. So if perhaps the second one is not really applicable to you now, then you could listen to 1 and 3. Colleagues, just from a developmental perspective, do not look with blinkers only, because there might be a product or service that, hey, it's not 100% aligned. Maybe the opportunity is to keep in mind to know this product. Maybe there's an opportunity in one of your future pieces of work as to how can you bring it in and you can make value out of it as part of a partnership or part of a relationship in which you can transact with the businesses. So colleagues, I feel like I'm evangelizing. I'm going to shut up now, and I'm going to just ask my colleagues, Richard and Neil, if there's anything else that they will want to add with what I said. Maybe start with you, Richard.
Yes, good morning, everybody. It's very nice to be with all of you, and it's a very exciting session that we have today. Akash, I just support everything that you said this morning. It's a real advantage for everybody here, and hopefully there's some opportunities. I'm looking forward to the responses we'll receive. So enjoy it. Thanks, Akash.
Okay, fantastic. Neil, from your side?
Yeah, thanks, Akash. Yeah, welcome everybody to our first set of Fireside chats. Yeah, it's an very exciting opportunity to actually potentially engage with 3 companies now that we've identified. So it is going to be quite exciting for you to listen and understand what these companies are about, what they do, and one of the key aspects of these engagements, remember we said, is to link you up or try and create a linkage with companies potentially in your industry, but also diversified from your industry. So the idea is to try and open up as many opportunities, or let you at least see what opportunities are potentially out there. So as most of you will recall, we spoke a lot about partnerships and collaboration over the past few sessions, and how they need to be integrated into your business as you grow and try and diversify. So these sessions are critically important, and we hope you enjoy them as much as we've already had a preview of them. Thanks.
Okay, fantastic. Colleagues, Neil's reminded me of a very important part. We have a masterclass on leadership and partnerships on Wednesday. So that is also a session very aligned, and it is part of this collective development, showing you ideas on how you could unpack some of these as such. But if you are interested post this session to have an individual one-on-one, or you have some ideas, please drop Richard and Neil reach out, and we will slowly see how, and we will arrange to meet, whether it's Delane, whether it's Stuart, whether it's Omar as such. Cool. Colleagues, thank you. I've created the context. I hope everyone understands for what we are. We have got more than the 40 people that we've expected into the class today. So let me quickly call on Omar. Are you here? I saw your note taker, right? So you must be here. There's 3 pages of attendees, so like I'm getting lost. Are you here, Omar?
Good morning, all. I am here. I have listened to the introduction. Thank you very much. You let me know when I can go ahead.
Fantastic. It's yours, your time. Hi, Shamantha. I can see you here. I know you're traveling as well, but nice to have you. Is there anything you want to contribute?
Enjoy the session. I think, just to add to Neil's point, it's all about the power of partnership. And hopefully we'll get to hear from the speakers, today on maybe if they can touch on some of their journey and experiences and how important partnerships are. Thanks, Akash.
Fantastic. Cool. Okay, colleagues, going to kick off. Omar, you're on the floor. It's your show, so maybe you can just for the purposes of class, like introduce yourself very briefly, and in 5 minutes, what does Sankroll do? And then maybe hone into the actual, like key products and services, because then it'll start igniting, like you may be doing a base chemical that goes into mining as an example. So the floor is yours, Omar. Are you able to show your presentation?
I am. I will just have a chat first, and then I'll show the presentation. I'll share it with everyone on the screen. Good morning, all. Thank you, Akash and the Sigma team, for giving us this opportunity to do our pitch. Basically, the Sankroll Chemicals is a black-owned company, started off 33 years ago, due to lack of employment, right? The current situation in terms of lack of employment is not too dissimilar to what I experienced as a young person trying to get into the industry. And this business started off with trying to get employment for ourselves. That's me, my two partners that started the business. Sancal Chemicals is an industrial chemical manufacturer. We manufacture chemicals for the paints and coatings industry, targeting mostly the water-based industry. All right. The industry knowledge has been gained from the partners from previous employment at other multinationals. And then we decided, due to the fact that we were under fear of losing our jobs through various reasons, to start our own business. All right. So I'm going to share the slide now.
Cool. Colleagues, you're allowed to place questions in the chat as Omar presents. You can also put it on the WhatsApp chat. Marinda and Richard and Neil will help me follow and ask questions. Go for it, Omar.
All right. Just give me 1 second. I'm trying to get my screen sorted out. Here we are. Oops. So wrong. Here we are. Can everyone see this?
Fantastic.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. Thank you so much. All right. Look, I've got this PowerPoint presentation. It's got a lot of information on it. I don't expect everyone to read it as we talk, but I will talk to it. And then the presentation is available to everyone via Sigma. So there's more information there. And obviously, if there's any interest, we can chat about it afterwards. All right. So I'm just going to I just gave you a basic idea of why the company started off. We are manufacturing industrial chemicals for the manufacture of paint and industry, paint and chemicals industries. The main products that we supply are all water-based products. They are reactive products. The plant is based in Durban, but we are multinational. We're supplying into Johannesburg and Cape Town. We have a warehouse in Cape Town, and we have a warehouse in Johannesburg. And obviously, we've got a warehouse and manufacturing facility in Durban. The products that we manufacture are basically binders that can be used in the manufacture of paints. All right. The main ingredient that is used in the manufacture of paint is the binder. The binder is the glue that holds the different ingredients together in the paint and also allows the paint to stick onto the substrate, which in most cases will be the wall. All right. There's three main ingredients in a water-based paint.
Omar, are you moving through your slides because we can only see the first one?
I'm just talking at this stage, but I'll move on to the next one now.
No problem. I just want to double check. Cool, excellent. Yeah. Are you able to see it? Are you able to put it in the PowerPoint mode?
Yeah, it is in PowerPoint.
No, I'm saying the mode. Oh,
you want me to slide it?
Okay. Yeah, you know the one at the the view, or you can go at the bottom right-hand side, that little screen. More left, no, on the right-hand side. Yeah, you see a little screen. There one right of that, Omar, right of that.
This one?
No, next.
That's normal.
No, next. There we are. You can do that, and you can move it right. Down.
All right. Is that okay?
100%.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. All right. Look, I just got some information on the vision and mission. That's not really important. I just want to talk about what we're offering you. The main offer is obviously knowledge and supply of raw materials for the manufacture of paints. This should fit into some of the contractors' requirements in terms of the supply of their raw materials or their customer base. So it's very easy to make. Basically, you require a little bit of machinery. The cost to entry is very low for manufacture of water-based paints. All right. Depending on the volume you make, the cost can be between, say, 20,000 and 200,000 rands. The raw materials that is required in the manufacture of paints are supplied by us. Obviously, we don't supply every raw material. There are some other raw materials supplied by other people in the industry, which we will share with you, depending on the interest of each of the contractors. All right. The main ingredients in a paint, as I said earlier, is the binder, the water, and the pigment. These are the three ingredients that determine the quality of the paint and the color of the paint. The binder is there to allow you to glue the paint together. The water is a carrier, and the pigment is there to give you color into the paint. All right. There's various other ingredients that also goes into the paint, but it's not necessary to talk about that now, except to know that the paint needs to be stabilized, and these other raw materials or additives that go into it stabilizes the paint. The raw material supplies are all available in South Africa. None of the raw materials that you would use in the manufacture of paints would need to be imported. And they can be got in smaller quantities and larger quantities. Okay, this slide here talks about what we offer in the industry. As I said, we offer in the industry the knowledge and the supply of raw materials to manufacture water-based paints. It's a simple process. It requires a high-speed machine, which is similar to, if you're doing it in a very simple way, similar to a drill press. All you have to do is convert the drill press into a paddle, and you can make your paint under high shear. The pigments are ground in water and additives to give you a low dispersion, low particle size dispersion, and then the binder is added and the paint is complete. Obviously, the ingredients that required are thickeners, dispersants, coalescents, biocides in the paint to finish off, which we can talk about later on. The process itself should take you only about 3 hours. Wood packing, depending on the batch size, let's say 4 hours. So if you're making a batch of 200 liters of paint, which is possible as a start off, you will make 2 batches in a day, that's 400 liters, and over 20 days, that's 800 liters. Depending on the batch size, you can make 800 liters or 1,000 liters in a day, depending on the size of the machine and the size of equipment that you want to use, the electricity availability, and so on. The space that's required for this type of manufacturing is minimal. You could get away with a 40 square meter double garage. If you're making, say, just 200 liters of paint as a batch size, then all you need is a machine with a 200 liter pot, and there's a guide. There's a recipe that you want to use to put everything together. I'll just go on to the recipe now. Okay, this is basically a recipe. Water is the main ingredient. If you look from the quantities, you'll see that water, the pigment, and binder are the largest quantities here. And we did a quick costing on this here. This type of paint, which is a matte acrylic paint, which is used in most contractors' homes, it will cost you about 20 Rand a liter and about 400 Rand for a bucket, a 20 liter bucket. The equipment that's required is basically 90,000 to make 200 liters of paint, which obviously this equipment doesn't is long lasting. You can continue to use it. The drums, depending on for ease of production, one would say that you'll use a different colored, use different drums for different colors. So if you're making white, you'll use a 200 liter drum of white. You'll not necessarily wash it off. Then if you're making red, you'll use another drum of 200 liters and you'll make a red paint. So the next time you come back to make red paint, you don't need to wash it off. So you save in terms of effluent, you save in terms of washing, you save in terms of putting any ingredients in the environment that you don't want to put out in there.
Omar, you've got like 15 minutes more. I'm just giving you a heads up, as such.
Yeah.
So maybe like 5 to 6 minutes of the rest of the product, and then we can
Yeah.
open it for discussion. Go for it.
Okay. All right. So I'm almost done. So look, there's a lot more to it. I'm not covering every aspect. I'm just giving you the basic introduction into it. It's fairly simple to manufacture. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to get knowledge in this. We are able to give you that knowledge. In any case, we've got experienced technical people in each of the areas, the 3 main areas of South Africa, and they are available at all times, even via the telephone, WhatsApp, or the email. All right, I just spoke about this here. It's a simple process to make paints. It's just some information there to give you more information, but really there's nothing much more to add to that. There's various types of paints. As one would know, we cover virtually every type of paint on the water-based side. Most people will be concentrating on decorative paints, which is household paints, but one can also make industrial paints like metal etch primers, like coatings for metal, like coatings for aluminium, and so on and so on. So there's various types of paint, and is depending on your specific requirement, we can talk about the specific raw materials that goes into different types of paints. All right, I've done with the pitch itself. I don't know if there's any questions.
So, okay, fantastic. You've done actually better than I thought, Sandra. So, colleagues, if I just maybe summarize it. So there's the opportunity for those of you all that are in the build services or in the actual community, if you look at diversifying or adding on to your businesses, is there an opportunity for water-based paint to manufacture on your own? Is there an opportunity? Is there a partner that could help you graduate or support you? Yeah, and that's what Omar and his team is saying is, here they provide not only the ingredients, they also provide the technical support to be able to do it as such. Colleagues, Omar took me the other day, and this is just a personal share, Omar. I'm an accountant, so I don't know how to make paint. So we're trying to curate a basic paint, stoop paint for the youngsters, the unemployed in all the host communities, not only at Iron or Kumba, but also in Platinum. So he explained to me how, with the bucket and how we can get these youngsters to mix with a dole their own paint manually. And, for less than 800 Rand, we're looking at a project of getting these kids so instead of them being unemployment at home, they can go around painting people's stoops and floors and make a living out of it. And so, colleagues, it's such a simple process once you get into the detail. And should you really think this is an opportunity for your company in time to diversify, or maybe if you're doing a civils kind of project-related work and you realize, I can also offer A, B, and C, and, or you might be located in a great place, then you can reach out to Neil or Richard, and then we will quickly assess and we'll be able to make that conversation and set up that huddle. But coming back to it now, so I hope that creates the context. This is the first pitch. We're actually getting businesses to pitch to our contractors. So any questions for Omar about how do you go about it? I think it's been very clear. You need 40 square meters, you need a double garage. It's not a brain study. If you want to consider, you can start really, really small. And for less of that investment, anything, as he's saying, from 20,000 up to 200,000, or he gave the example of 90,000, then it explains to you how you would be able to invest. So any questions, comments, any clarifications about using paint as a diversification option? Omar, it'll be great if you can email me, email us or place it under the chat, the presentation, and then we'll also on-share, because I'm sure the colleagues will also want to go and look at your website, understand this in detail before they reach out. Okay, cool. Let me just go for quick questions from the audience. Marinda, please help me look at both chats. Any questions? You're more than welcome. Alice, you have any questions, Alice? Are you able to talk?
Yes, we can talk.
Go for it.
I've already posted it there, but it's fine. I'll wait for it.
You were saying what are the most exciting? Okay, you've seen one already. You'll be able to compare the second chat and see what it is better, aligned or not aligned to your business. Cool, excellent. I see a second hand up.
Teboko,
you want to go for it? Maybe just unmute and ask your question.
Yes, thank you so much. I just want to find out if there are any health concerns or limitations relating to the process of manufacturing, if there are safety or health related concerns, since we're dealing with chemicals here, and how are they mitigating such?
Okay, fantastic question. Great minds think alike or fools differ. I asked him the same question when I met him 2 weeks ago. Go for it, Omar.
All right, look, we are dealing with industrial chemicals. Obviously, there's always concerns. The main ingredients that are going into the manufacture of paints are fairly safe. Obviously, water, you know, of the pigments you can touch and play around with. And then the binder. The binder itself is a glue. You could put your hand, it's like a water-based glue. You could put your hand in it, is no consequence. Obviously, one would recommend that you touch any chemicals, you wash your hand afterwards, right? The concern comes in with some of the additives. The one additive in particular that needs mention, it's a biocide. So biocide by nature is a killer, but it kills microorganisms. It kills bacteria or virus. It's there to protect the water that you use in the paint. All right. So they're non-hazardous. None of these chemicals are hazardous. However, if you handle large quantities of them, or if you put your finger in them and then you continue to work the entire day, the chances are you will get some sort of contamination into your skin, and then you'll get some blisters possibly or something, or the skin will come out and you'll get new skin. So there are some consequences. We will be giving you training on each one of those things. We will give you knowledge of them. None of the raw materials that are sold either by us or by other suppliers come without any guidance in terms of use. Safety data sheets is an absolute paramount in all chemical industries. So what we do, and I recommend the same to any of you who wants to get involved in chemicals, is that we always request safety data sheet first. We peruse that. We decide that we understand how to use it. We look at it in terms of the fit in what we do and the knowledge that our people have. And then thereafter, we will request samples on that product or that raw material.
Fantastic.
So that is a procedure that is done internationally by all users. I think it's just a standard safety requirement. My answer to you would be, Teboko, no, there shouldn't be any large-scale concerns. The raw materials that we use are generally not that hazardous. However, you still need to get some basic information on how to handle them.
Okay, fantastic, cool. The next question from Pumza: how long does the training take before you can actually start, or is there mentorship or to the process? So there's obviously technical support and engagement that you'll offer on an ongoing basis, but how long, if let's just say somebody says, yes, I'd like to have, to do this thing, how long what's the training journey for somebody like this from past experience, Omar?
All right, look, I'm assuming that the person's got absolutely no knowledge at all. And on that basis, you got no knowledge of chemicals, you got no knowledge of how things work in terms of mixing, how thickeners work, how ammonia works, then I would say you basically only need about 2 to 3 days knowledge to get started.
Okay,
all right.
fantastic.
And personally, I would prefer that is it's a physical, hands-on sort of knowledge. That means you're coming into our laboratories and we're doing work together, showing you exactly how each of the raw materials work, what they do in the paint, how to put them together, what the final outcome is. So you only need 2 to 3 days of knowledge on that. And we do offer that training free of charge, by the way, to all potential customers. And as I said earlier, and Akash intimated to about it, we also got a small, say, system that is used in the township unemployed youth program, where people are allowed to mix just 2 chemicals and then make a paint out of it. So we process each of those chemicals a little bit further than we do in the larger one that I just presented to you. And that sort of knowledge is easily had. You don't need to come in for that. You can do that, via a video.
Yeah, he took me through a video. Okay, colleagues, we've got 3 more questions. You can see the ideas are now all coming out of it, and they're asking. And Paul, you got your hands up, but just to confirm, we're meeting at 5 o'clock, right, Paul? We're still
Yes,
meeting with
no,
Karen.
we got that.
Karen is so
5
excited to
o'clock.
meet you at 5 o'clock today.
I can't wait for that as well.
Okay, fantastic. Paul, you can just ask your question. Introduce yourself quickly, the question, and we go to the next 1 or 2, please. Go for it.
Okay. Mine will be very short. It's just with regards to water, since it's the main ingredient, does the quality of water have play a role into how the final product comes out? Because we have different waters in different places. Our water is bad this side in Kuruman. So I just wanted to know. We don't know, maybe we might have an interest in it, but to say, will just normal tap water be fine, or do we need to process the water, clean it before, or so that's my question.
Okay,
normal tap water is fine, Info. We do have different waters in each of the different areas in South Africa. For instance, in the Western Cape, the water tends to be a little bit more alkaline. However, in terms of manufacture of paints, that is not critical. Overall, any raw material used in the paint, including the basic water, does have an impact on the paint, all right? Yeah. But you don't need to get that water deionized. I think we can look at formulations to overcome some of the problems that some of the raw materials, in this case water, will impart onto the paint. So there are raw materials that will help you. Say, if you got very hard water, we can soften it with certain chemicals, just as an example.
Yeah, so
the water has minimal impact, but by and large in South Africa, any water, even borehole water, is good enough.
Okay, so borehole water, that's fantastic. So just to let you know, Omar, and this is not for you to comment, is the colleagues in Kuruman got big problem with lime and calcium in the water. So, on a separate project, I know that they're trying, you always need to filter it, to avoid the geysers getting damaged and with the calcium into it. But it's possible. You can even use borehole water and into it. Stephen, I just want to get to 1 or 2 other questions just to plant the seeds. Colleagues, it's not the end of the day. It's the start of the engagement. Stephen, go for it. You can unmute yourself.
Good morning. Yes, thank you very much, Akash. And thanks, Omar. I just wanted to ask regarding the material safety data sheets. Because there is different ingredients, one would be able to get the data sheets for the different ingredients that go into the finished product. But now let's say for those who will be going into the manufacturing and obviously you'll be having a final product, will the training also include on how to develop a safety data sheet for that particular product? That's now apart from having individual data sheets, basically just coming up with one that would incorporate all of these. Or how does the process work for those who will be manufacturing and they want to also communicate to their clients what their product basically entails in terms of safety and so on?
All right. Look, this question is asking us what is our offering in terms of technical support. We initially started off the business with just basic formulation information because the people that were making paints had some knowledge. So they knew what to do, and it was a case of just offering guide formulation and raw materials for their manufacture. And then eventually we decided that once we started getting into offering people that are unemployed to get into the industry, we needed to hold their hand, so to speak, a little bit more or a little bit longer. So in your particular case, we would help you throughout the process from beginning to end. So the short answer to the question about making, say, technical information for your end product, which will be the paint, yes, we will guide you with that. And also to the extent that if you have problems on the field and you had 1 or 2 customer complaints, we will also come in at within reason, depending on where it is, look at the coating, look at the job that you've done, and give you our advice on how to rectify or what went wrong or how to fix or how to placate that customer. Even also in production troubleshooting. So if you're making a batch of paint and you had a problem and it didn't come out as you expected it to come out, there'll be various tests done at stages. We will guide you also in that regard. We have on occasion, depending on where it is and the volume of the customer's purchases, sent our technical staff out to them to spend some time, whether it's a day or a couple of days, to go over some of the training aspects or some of the production problem aspects.
Okay, fantastic. Omar, thank you so much. Colleagues,
Akash.
I'm going to just, yes, you go
Sorry,
first.
one last thing before we close with Omar, right? Omar, thank you very much. I think it was extremely interesting. Hopefully, there were a lot of takeaways from. But I think what you've explained in a lot of detail is literally how you could help some of the contractors in terms of the type of work they're doing currently or potentially diversifying, into other businesses. And so you mentioned, like things like what your company does, right? Manufacturing specialty, industry chemicals, etc. And a lot of the contractors that are in the program are involved in construction, maintenance, manufacturing. So the paint side of it is quite an important aspect, right? So like you, for example, could the benefit of association with a company like yours is you could help contractors source affordable, high quality materials, etc. Based on what you supply. Because obviously this value chain very well, right? So that's one of the key areas that you could possibly help them. Obviously, from an environmental perspective as well, a lot of your products are environmentally friendly, right? So including water-based paints and all that. So these eco-friendly projects that require this kind of product, would be critically important to know about and understand where clients are looking for green solution and how, so contractors would need to look at how they could leverage those type of offerings based on something like what your company can provide. Then you spoke about the operational and technical support, right? Which I think really help contractors optimize material usage and production process, where they're exposed to this particular space, and help them reduce costs and improve operational efficiency. So I think you spoke about that. But essentially, I think the last thing I wanted to mention as well is also about the way you'll manage your customers, your customer-centric philosophy and how you'll operate. And that kind of thing could be quite valuable as well to, forming partnerships or associations with some of the companies in the Northern Cape, even your supply network, how those could filter back to them somehow, where they have particular requirements around, the chemical requirements, etc., for certain types of stuff they're supplying or products they're supplying. Okay. I think importantly, I'm not sure if you mentioned as well, one last thing is your company, most of the products, I mean, you're ISO 9001, right? And 14001 compliant. So that's also quite a big thing because we know that many of the smaller companies can't go for or can't actually supply things or products because they don't have this kind of certification. But I understand you do have it as well in your company.
Yeah, look, I didn't talk too much about our compliances. We are probably one of the only South African chemical companies that meets all the requirements in terms of compliances, which is air emissions, ISO 9000, ISO 14000. We're working on a few other accreditations. We're part of responsible care. So we meet all the bells and braces in terms of the compliances on the manufacturing side and also on the development side and on the release of say, gaseous air into atmosphere, also the release of effluent and water back into the system. So all those requirements are met by us. We also meet all the financial requirements in terms of SARS. Look, I've always got a gripe of some of the multinationals. I don't want to get into that, but just to cover that aspect.
Yeah.
We do
Omar,
cover all of that.
I'm gonna have to squeeze you into it. So, colleagues, I just need to summarize.
Yeah, one last comment. I didn't mention the other industries that we're involved in. We spoke only about paints, which is what we're targeting now. But since some of your contractors are dealing in cleaning chemicals, we do have raw materials that supply the detergent industry. We do supply the mining industry with anti-sequestrants. Akash, you mentioned calcium problems with hard water. We supply descalants, anti-scalants into the mining industry. We go via the big formulators like Buckman and ChemServe and so on and so on. Okay. But we can't talk about some of the raw materials that we supply to those industries and how we may be able to help you in your foray into the mining industry with those products. I'm only touching on 3 different things there. We are involved in many other industries.
Okay, fantastic. Omar, thank you so much for planting the seed. Colleagues, I'm mindful of time. We've got 45 minutes and I've got 2 other companies to go through it, but I know we did a big introduction. So Omar, what's coming out very, very loud out of this conversation is it's ignited, the people and the conversation. I just want to see the interest that feeds back to Neil and to Richard. There might be an opportunity to have a much more deeper dive, and we could do a collective one. Instead of you having 10 companies ask you the same question, we can unpack now, this that they've planted and watched the seed, look at some of the other offerings around the chemical and go into some of the detailed question. But it's fantastic pitch. Thank you for being number one. Please stay on and listen to the rest of it. And if you can share that presentation. So colleagues, out of this, Richard will share the presentation. You will think about it and reach out to Neil and Richard. Based on the collectiveness of the effort, we might even do a second linkages session, Neil and Richard, a more deeper dive into Central Chemicals. Omar, thank you so much. You're a superstar.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks for listening to me.
It.
And thanks for your questions. Cheers.
Cool. Excellent. Bye. So, colleagues, we're going to move on to the next one. Colleagues, you're actually privileged because Omar is one of the founders and owners. So the same, that we're going to explain to you with the colleagues from Envirosan, and the same, Delaney is also the owner and founder of SPS Tanks, as such. So you're actually privileged to be able to have this opportunity. So Stuart, I'm going to put you on. You've got about 22 to 25 minutes to be able to introduce yourself and what Envirosan does and get into the products and services, and then we can open up the discussion. But you get a feel for what the questions are. Over to you, Stuart. Stuart, are you there?
Thanks, Akash. Yeah, thanks so much. I'm just going to share my
you want to share, or maybe Omar, if you may stop sharing. Cool, fantastic. Go for it. There we are, we can see it. Oh, we can see it, 100%. Are you there, Stuart? Stuart, we can't hear you.
Sorry, can you guys hear me now?
Yep, we can hear you now. Go for it.
Perfect. And everyone see the presentation all right?
Yeah. We can't see you, but...
No, that's perfect. As long as you can hear me.
Okay, fantastic. Go for it. Introduce yourself, perfect. And then the floor is yours.
Great stuff. Thanks so much. Yeah, thank you. Good morning, everyone. And thanks everyone for joining in this platform. I think it's something very worthwhile. And thanks Akash and to your team for giving us the opportunity to give a bit of background to Envirosan, who we are, what we do, and hopefully there's some potential going forward, as I know has been discussed and mentioned. Just to give you a bit of background about myself, my name is Stuart Smitheram. I've been with Envirosan now for 13 years. I look after a number of the key accounts as well as look at the school sanitation that we work on. My presentation is just going to quickly run through, like I said, who we are in Envirosan. I've got 2 or 3 little videos that I'll play as well, which also sort of give a nice background to the business, what we do, show some of our, show the factory in terms of the manufacturing side. And then, we can go on from questions on there. So I'm just going to jump straight into Just a quick one. Let me just get. There we go. Just a quick video about Fireside.
Cool.
Fireside Sanitation Solutions. Firesight's core business is to provide a comprehensive range of solutions to the world's sanitation crisis through the use of the most technological.
Is it just a sound file, Stuart? Because we can't see any pictures.
Apologies, the video doesn't seem to be coming through. Let's just try that again. Let's just check.
You can maybe show it in that mode, maybe, if that's better. You don't have to go into the PowerPoint.
There we go.
Yeah.
Is everyone able to see it?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Fireside Sanitation Solutions. Firesight's core business is to provide a comprehensive range of solutions to the world's sanitation crisis through the use of the most technologically advanced plastic precision molding technology. We are committed to building mutually beneficial relationships with our customers by providing cost-effective products, technical excellence, superior quality, and unrivaled levels of service, thereby empowering us not to only meet but also exceed the market's demands and expectations. Quality and reliability are of paramount importance to our customers and ourselves, and we firmly believe that whilst water is life, sanitation is dignity. Fireside is a proudly South African service-oriented company whose core business was established in 2006 to provide a comprehensive range of plastic injection and blow-molded sanitation systems, concentrating specifically on environmentally friendly and sustainable solutions.
Are you able to put the sound a little louder, Stuart?
Gosh, let me just try. Unfortunately, it's at max on my side.
Okay, cool.
And partners who share our vision of building ethical business relationships based on mutual trust and top quality service, supplying dignified, safe, and sustainable sanitation solutions to all communities. We pride ourselves by complying with globally approved manufacturing standards and techniques, as well as using only SABS-approved raw materials, which give our products exceptional structural qualities, coupled with superior finish to promote hygiene and safe use at all times. All of our designs are done in-house, and our products are 100% recyclable to make our company a proud member of the Green family. Fireside is primarily a customer-driven enterprise who go out.
Stuart, we barely can hear it, Stuart. I'm not sure what's happening, but maybe you can pick up the sound on the mic at the bottom of your screen and the speaker. Maybe it'll pick it up, please.
No problem. Let me see if I can just give me 2 seconds here.
If it's a game changer you are looking for, look no further than Fireside.
Cool. So we can't hear anything on this now. No, there's no sound. Is there a mic at the bottom of the screen at the bottom next to the speaker on the left-hand side next to ENG? Is that all high?
Sorry, can you guys hear me, or is it gone off completely now?
Now I can hear you. Go for it. You know, maybe just try once more. If not, you can share the video. I can share it with the team.
There we go.
Well.
Okay. I think let me just skip through the videos. Once I share the presentation, everyone can go through it in their own time, if that's right. We don't seem to be winning on that side.
Go for it.
Perfect. Okay, let me just skip through here. So just to give you guys a bit of background, what that video sort of went through was Envirosan's been in the sanitation industry now from 2006, so effectively 18 years. Our focus has always been to provide safe, dignified, and sustainable sanitation solutions. So we work very closely with consulting engineers, organizations, NGOs, municipal departments to develop dignified and sustainable sanitation. So we've always seen there's a one size fits all, so ranging from your sort of rural right through to your peri-urban, urban, your school sanitation. There's no one size fits all, and you know, there's no silver bullet when it comes to sanitation. So we work very closely with a number of different organizations. What makes us unique is we are at the forefront of sanitation solutions. So we also work very closely with the Water Research Commission, organizations such as the Bill and Melinda Gates, to develop new and innovative solutions. So more recently, one of the innovations we've worked on is what's called the Easy Split, which has been a development, which is a low flush toilet that also separates your urine. Obviously, the urine can be taken away to be further used. It does have a number of other uses. So, you know, we're not just looking at sort of what's now, we're looking at the future as well. Sort of taking the approach to say, if you look at what cell phones were 10 years ago, you know, and what they are now, we've taken the same approach with toilets to say, how can we better toilets? How can we make them better? You know, why are we using 9 liters of water to flush? You know, when water is such a scarce commodity, and we are a water scarce country, you know, why are we using 9 liters when we can rather use 1 to 2 liters? So we are at the forefront of looking at new sustainable solutions. We have our turnkey solutions. So we've got a construction side. We do all our research development in-house. So that's part of the services and the package that we offer. And then, yeah, as I mentioned, we're not only focused on the manufacturing of sanitation systems, but also, you know, looking at how to develop new systems, new innovative solutions. You know, how can we better what's out there? So we look at Envirosan's not a, you know, we do have our own manufacturing capabilities. So we've got all our own injection molding machines. We've got a blow molding machine. So, but we see ourselves more as a sanitation solutions company as opposed to a company that manufactures toilets. You know, we don't do other items. We don't manufacture dog bowls. We don't manufacture other systems. Our focus is solely on toilets and sanitation, and how we can better it. So just a snapshot of Envirosan. So we do incorporate recycled plastic materials into the production of our system. So this approach reduces plastic waste and promotes a circular economy while ensuring that our products are both durable and environmentally friendly. So by utilizing recycled materials, we help deliver high quality sanitation solutions that are eco-conscious and sustainable. As I mentioned earlier, we are able to provide turnkey solutions. So we do assessments of sites, then we can put forward designs, recommendations, and then we do have our own construction team, which is a 6 GB grading, your CRDB. So we are able to do projects up to 20 million Rand when it comes to actual construction and implementation of the sanitation. We're proudly South African, so all our products are developed and manufactured locally, and we're fully compliant with SANS 10400. So all our systems are Agrimar approved. There is no SABS when it comes to innovative solutions, especially sanitation and low flush toilets, but we are able, so we've taken the Agrimar approach. Over the last 18 years, we've supplied 3 million toilets across Africa. So that ranges from your VIP toilets, which is your ventilated improved pit latrines, right through to your low flush toilets, which we term the easy flush. On the production side, we have the capabilities to do up to 50,000 toilets per month. So a lot of our projects we supply are large scale rural government projects. So we have capacity to meet the requirements and demands of those large projects. All our toilets are designed for ease of transport, so we're able to load 400 into a single container. So we are able to stack. They are stackable from their design on the toilet side, which makes it easier to transport, especially if we're going cross border into other areas in Africa. So supporting local communities, so empowering local Black contractors through capacity building, job creation, and sustainability development. So we are able to supply products into areas, provide training, upskill local contractors. A lot of the schools projects we do will take labor from the community, and then after the process of installing the toilets, the labor then are able to then go forward doing similar installations and have that knowledge from doing that project. We've successfully completed a handover of ablution facilities over 300 schools with the Easy Flush system setting the benchmarks for school sanitation. So we're not just a provider, we're a trusted global partner in transforming sanitation systems across the world. Just to touch on the sanitation, everyone I'm sure in this forum will be aware of the sad state of sanitation in South Africa and Africa. These are just a few headlines we've taken from articles specifically related to school sanitation in terms of kids having to use bushes. Open defecation is still very much an issue, and trying to get to those backlogs in terms of what can be done. So as mentioned in the previous slide, we've done a lot of school sanitation work that's been through NGOs, through big corporates that have seen the need to put their CSR money into school sanitation. It's a model that can be replicated. We are able to provide training and the like for that to be done. Just to give you a bit of on the left there, you'll see the machines in action, injection molding machines at the bottom. As I mentioned earlier, we at Envirocen, we take the stance that there's no one size fits all. So depending on access to water, the soil conditions, what the requirements are, we're able to design a sanitation system that's going to best suit that community or school or area. We do provide a comprehensive range of systems. So from your dry systems, which are termed the ventilated and improved pit latrines or VIPs for shorts, as well as your urine diversion systems. So effectively a dry toilet that separates your urine and your fecal matter. More recently, when I say more recently, it's been 6-7 years now, is our Easy Flush toilet, which is a toilet that only uses 1 to 2 liters of water per flush. So compare that to a normal toilet, which uses between 9 to 12 liters. A household's effectively able to save about 150 liters of water a day of potable water, which if you start putting that over 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 houses, those numbers are massive. It also allows us, because of the small water usage, it also allows us to put flush toilets at households that normally wouldn't get flush toilets, as well as schools, because the water can be maximized on site. We do
Stuart, you've got 5 more minutes maybe to present, and we can spend 10 minutes with questions. I just want to give you the heads up.
No problem. Thanks, Coach. I'm just going to run through the different systems. I won't go through in detail, but on the right, it's pretty straightforward. It shows a ventilated and improved pit latrine. Everything goes down into the pit below. Your urine diversion toilets, where your urine is separated to a separate soakaway, and your fecal matter goes down to the pits at the bottom. Your Easy Flush low flush system, which uses 1 to 2 liters of water and can be flushed using grey water, so it doesn't require a water main. So in areas where households have water to wash, cook, clean with, that can be reused to flush the toilets, and then you've got the benefits of having a flush toilet. Just some basic designs in terms of school sanitation. On the left is with a low flush, with a septic tank. On the right would be a dry system, showing the different options. And then just some photos in terms of what we've done. These are ECDs, so you can see these have been done with a hand wash facility, been done at various ECDs across the country. On the back, the photo on the left, you can see the tank on the back that can be manually filled with grey water. Rain harvested water, doesn't have to be potable or clean water.
Oh, cool.
And then that can be used, that effectively holds 60 liters. So it's a backup. It gives 30 flushes before it needs to be refilled. As I mentioned earlier, it effectively allows the household to reuse the water that would normally be thrown out, can reuse that for flushing. On the right is just a picture of the Easy Flush toilets. Again, just some more photos of the units. This was done, shows more the tank on the back. This was done at a household level, where the tank is mounted on the back. It can be upgraded if there's a water connection available. Again, holds 60 liters, so there's always 30 flushes effectively as a backup. Just some photos of the items we've done with the septic tank and soakaway. So I'm just running through these very briefly, but I know time is of the essence. And then just some work we've done on the schools, more just to remove the old structures. On the left is sort of what we see commonly at schools that we do. You can see unsafe toilets about to collapse. Kids are having to use either bushes because they're afraid to use the toilets, or there's the risk that they fall down into the pit, below or collapses. And we have these horrific stories of kids being trapped in pit latrines and unfortunately passing away. Some of our partners that we worked with, we worked like Bidvest, Unilever, Bread Down Africa, World Vision, Tiger Brands, etc. So these are sort of the corporates that are looking at putting money into CSR, where for replacement of school sanitation. Just some more photos of work we've done at preschools. You can see the structures there with the backup tanks that also act as a hand wash. Unfortunately, this is quite a nice video. It shows the work that was done with PepsiCo more on a household level, where the model was that the community cast their own toilets. So the concrete yard was actually set up in the community. They cast their own toilets, and then they were employed, as well as from the skills initiative. There was a transfer of skills there. The community manufactured their own toilets. Obviously, on the concrete side, the plastic side would still be manufactured by ourselves and said from this side. But from a concrete point of view, they're able to manufacture the toilets. There's skills development there. There's also ticks the box from the employment side, and then the community was also involved in terms of the installation and erection of the toilets. And yeah, that's just my last one there. That's some photos of the school sanitation that we've done from that point of view. So yeah, in a nutshell, thank you very much. So I know I've run through the slides, and apologies for the earlier technical issues, but I hope I've covered enough there.
Cool, excellent. So Stuart, will you maybe just the PDF, the slides, so we'll be able to access it. If you want to share the videos, if you're allowed to, we can also place it on the different chats with this business. But colleagues, the idea being is we're trying to open up the minds, for the 40 businesses that we have in today's business. What Stuart has to offer is the sanitation. I know there's mention of schools, there's mentions of rural communities, but there's also mining operations in which you could use, or construction related opportunities where you could be able to use his different solutions. So I'm going to stop here, ask for questions or clarifications or any from the audience or any engagements from the audience. So cool, colleagues, any questions for Stuart? I'm just checking the chat as well. Marinda, please check for me on the other. Sorry?
Ek voel my baie mooi gepresent, né?
Well, Wilfred, yeah, I see you are unmuted, or I'm not sure if you wanted to ask a question.
No, sorry, I'm good.
Okay.
Thanks,
Ons heard die Afrikaans. We praat Afrikaans, so we thought, no, we want to ask a question. Sorry, but no problem. Colleagues, any other questions? So what other services do you do? Do you offer besides recycling, dumpsters, etc.? What other services do you offer besides the toilet related services, Stuart?
Akash, I'll focus solely on the toilets. So more on the front end as well. We obviously manufacture the low flush toilet, being the easy flush and the dry systems.
Okay.
And then on the structure side, we do work with a number of accredited top structure suppliers. Obviously, the system doesn't have to go into a precast structure, as I showed there earlier. It can go into a conventional ablution block. And on the back end solution, we do supply septic tanks if required. We are able to do that. But from a waste management point of view, we don't do anything like honeysucking or that, or emptying of the septic tanks, or emptying of waste, or disposal of the raw waste, if I can call it that.
Okay, cool. So the next question asks, how do you manage the sewage dumping site, or where the sewage ends?
So that's very much again, like I mentioned in my presentation, very much a horses for courses sort of thing. So depending on what the site allows, if it's a very rural site, we can either do what's called a leach pit, where everything just goes into a pit, and then it's emptied as and when required. Alternatively, there's the option to do a septic tank with a soak away system. Again, the size of the septic tank or the size of the leach pit would depend on number of users, how often the mine or the school or wants to plan on emptying it. So from a back end solution or waste management system, it's very much dependent on what site on site, but our systems are compatible with all the different back end solutions. So from a septic tank to a conservancy tank to biodigester to mainline sewer, or whatever the best suited site requires, we can adapt our front end solution to.
Okay, fantastic. Richard, you join up, go for it.
Akash, thanks. Just a quick one. So just to confirm the opportunity, so and maybe Stuart can just confirm that with us. So it's really buying and installing, that's one opportunity. And the other opportunity is to utilize EnviroSan as a technical partner when we submit tenders. Stuart, is that a summary of what you presented?
Yes, thanks, Richard. Yeah, so I mean, we're flexible in terms of the way we work. As I mentioned earlier, we're a sanitation solutions company that also sees as a manufacturing side. So, you know, we can supply technical expertise if contractors are tendering for work. The video, unfortunately, like I said, would have been nice to showcase as well, which would be quite, I think, well suited for mines sort of setup, because I know mines often do have requirements for sanitation. You know, you've got areas where you've got, you know, workers staying on site and toilets are required. So there is also the option that, you know, we could provide technical expertise where contractors could effectively cast these toilets on sites, you know, being the precast structures if there isn't a toilet available. And then the contractors would supply the complete sets, including our plastics, to the sites, to the mine, and do a supply and install or whatever it might be in terms. Like I said, we are flexible in terms of the way we work. Our expertise and technology lies with you know, the components being the toilet, the door, the hand wash, etc.
Well, fantastic. Colleagues, we just want to plant the seed to open up the mind. So we've had 3 businesses, and Stuart, if you maybe send me the PDF, and if you're able to retransfer me the videos or on WhatsApp, we will on-share to the, you know, to the broader chat to pick up the conversation. Any last questions, comments for Stuart? As such, colleagues, if you are interested, you want to pick up the conversation, and sometimes the conversations don't start now. There might be an opportunity that is coming out in Postmasburg in a few weeks or months, and then you'll be able to say, okay, propose something innovative. Then instead, something innovative and different, here's something you can reach out to be able to consider, and maybe that'll be the winning item in your proposal or tender as such. So, colleagues, any other questions, any other comments for Stuart? Very well, Stuart, thank you so much. You're welcome to stay on. I deeply, deeply appreciate it, and thank you for being so flexible. So just the way forward, Stuart, for the colleagues that are interested, they're going to reach out to Neil and to Richard, and then Neil and Richard will actually, oh, there we are. We can actually see you now. Neil and Richard will actually pick up the conversation one-on-one. We also want to manage expectations. We don't want you to be bombarded, you know, by 10 companies. We also you know, mindful of the development of some of these businesses, and then we also want to manage expectations. But thank you so much for your time. Deeply appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks everyone. Yeah, we'll wait to hear the next step, and yeah, thanks very much.
Fantastic. Would you just email me the videos or the presentation?
No problem. We'll do. Thanks, Akash. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, excellent. Cool. Thank you, colleagues. We're running fast for time. We're doing really, really well. Delane, over to you. Maybe in about 10 minutes to 15, if you can explain your business, what is SBS, the group, the tanks, the energy, very, very briefly, and then maybe hone in, you know, as you got a feel for what are the product opportunities for use or for later on partnering. Over to you, Dylan. Maybe just a quick introduction to yourself first.
Okay, Akash, thank you. Just hope all my technology works. But yeah, thanks for the opportunity. I think as a broader team that's online this morning, we owe a big thank you to Sigma and also to your client in turn, who's facilitated this opportunity. Yeah, folks, my name is Delane Gray. I'm the Group CEO of the SBS Holdings entity. We have in the group effectively, well, three entities, SBS Tanks, SBS Solutions South Africa, and then we also do have an energy business as well, solar energy business. But the opportunity and the presentation I'm going to put forward this morning is primarily about SBS Tanks. And I hope tech's going to work, so I'm going to put on my, oh gosh, here we go. I'm going to get to share screen.
And just click the sound if you've got videos on it. Just make sure the sound bar is. Colleagues, if all of you are aware, if all of you are aware, that sponsor that Delane talks about is made possible by Anglo American. and Anglo-American Zimele. So thank you for reminding us as well. Though we can see your presentation, and now we can see your
All
email.
right. Are
Cool.
you guys
Yeah.
on? You there?
100%. We can hear you. We can see it too. Go for it.
Right, folks, I'm going to reverse and I'm essentially going to share a number of photographs with you. As you see on the screen now, slide 1, there's my name and a phone number. And just to tell you that we work within the context of water. My personal journey has been, and Akash gave me a briefing and said I must be buoyant and I must tell stories of joy and I must tell stories of success. So guys, the story of joy and success for me is that I started my journey in SBS some 26 years ago as a young man in a short pants t-shirt, a pair of slip-slops, and I had 3 guys working with me. I was a landscaper and the opportunity came to become a tank installer. I took that opportunity and grew with it and in it until the point where I am 26 years later. So just a little word of encouragement is, say again?
Fantastic, I said that is.
Yeah, so that's who I am. And I suppose that positions me within my business to say I know every detail of it, from the hardship out in the field to the successes in the factory and the boardroom in turn. SBS Tanks, what is it? Who are we? We're a designer, manufacturer, and installer. 26 years of business, a very real South African success story, I believe. Am I still on screen, guys?
No, not anymore. You stopped at those steel tanks 26 years and then it went off. You just click back on that. Because you're showing your screen. You just need to go back onto your PowerPoint or your PDF that you were showing us.
Thank you. Am I back there, folks?
Yeah,
okay.
100%.
Yeah, we're a South African business where at all possible we use South African labor resources in the form of engineering and then also in terms of product. So every nut that I use is not imported. It's actually manufactured in South Africa. The steel wherever possible, and then everything else. Just to show you, 170 employees, a global supplier. And what we do have is we have offices and representation in Kenya, the USA, and then our global network is through distributors. In addition, Johannesburg offices and Cape Town offices, with our main manufacturing plant and head office in Pinetown. So if you'll just bear with me, I'm going to just show photographs, and the photographs essentially are going to bring about discussion. That's our factory located in Maxmead in Pinetown. And yeah, just we have the capacity to deliver, but we are still a small, and I use the word family-driven business because we haven't become a large corporate. So they're still big enough to deliver, small enough to care mindset within SBS. That photograph there will give all the audience a good idea of what a SBS tank looks like, what it comprises of, and just so that we don't confuse today's topic, we don't have a competitive product that will be able to compete in the world of rotor-molded plastic tanks. So the trade name that has done really well in the market is Jojo. And this is not a Jojo tank. So I need to clear that so we don't cause confusion. That is our factory, one of our factories where we do most of our dispatch from. And then we have another 2 factories of similar size where we manufacture the panels and the liners. Our people, I've made a statement there, our people are our most valuable asset. And I have to tell you that they are, because you can have whatever sort of business you might wish. You can have whatever product you might want to make. But if you don't have people, then you have nothing. So we're very people orientated at SBS. Our factory is of a world-class standard from ISO accreditations, both for quality management and also 45,001 for health and safety. So I know a lot of the people on today's audience come out of the mining, high health and safety and high credentials. We meet those credentials and requirements. We offer a full engineering service. So interesting, we just the same as the other gents that have presented, we engineer, we manufacture, and we develop internally. So we're not a sort of job shop. We do it all in-house. Project management and scheduling is done in-house. Health and safety, we have very strong health and safety. So when we do go onto sites with high demand on us, we are able to meet that. Our installation teams, I think this is important for the audience, contractors. We have 15 installation teams. Each team comprises between 3 and 4 people, and those teams are located countrywide. 4 or 5 teams out of Johannesburg, 2 teams out of Cape Town, and then the balance out of Durban and some out of East London to service the Eastern Cape. So all our teams are SBS employees. We don't work through a subcontractor network, and that's to ensure quality and obviously to ensure safety of the staff themselves. We're a very proudly South African business, and I think you'll see job creation, reduction of poverty, and grow a local investment. It's what we strive to do. Just a quick one. We are community orientated and we run an annual wheelchair challenge. And it's just to grow awareness beyond our own daily task. There's just an interesting, there's a challenge to mobility, and industry can change that if we do our little bit. So just to say again, we're not all about profit.
Are you there, Dylan? You got mute. Was it me?
Our accreditations are vast, and they're there for the people that need them if we have to present them. But this is what I just wanted the few photographs to show. We have a big commercial offering. If you want to go commercial and pitch to big industry, it's nothing new to us. Are we still good sound and photographs?
Yeah, we can see the Coca-Cola.
Yeah, that Coca-Cola in Nigel. But just to show the diversity, so there's a food and beverage in the big industry. Then there's mining in a large commercial scale, and there's so many sub opportunities within these sectors. But just to run through the sectors, then there is fire protection, which is large tanks that hold water to protect large buildings like the macros and the Pick n Pays that we all used to.
Yeah.
This photograph is just to give some indication. If you look at the package on the left top, that is what the tank looks like when it's delivered. It's a component product manufactured in a factory, loaded either into a container or onto a truck. And then it goes onto a site where there's an element of civil work, building work, and within a very short space of time and with limited equipment, a large tank of over 700 kiloliters is built. We're also able to go to very remote locations, and that's again because it's a modular product. It can be carried up and down pathways or got to as long as a 4x4 vehicle can get there. And the reason, guys, I'm telling you this is just so that you can picture potential opportunity as I show you the photographs. Municipality work is one of our core. We work closely with district municipalities and government for housing projects where bulk water supply is required. Something else, just to show you, you can do tanks in color, and that allows you to be environmentally friendly when they're looking for least impact on the horizon or in game parks and the likes. Photographs there are to show you the sort of process of construction. Ring beam, internal, showing you the plastic liner, and then external photographs just showing you pipe work, by example, and the finished product. There is a small commercial application, steel panels bolted together, ladders, pipes, and valves, and that gives a final solution. That photograph that you see now is over a large landscape in a game park, and that is the bulk water supply, utilizing a combination of elevated tanks and ground tanks, all SPS. Elevated tanks, these are quite close to you guys in Kimberley, but again, build opportunities for construction. And we, unfortunately, are not able to outsource much of the steel work and the likes because it's all designed and built in-house as a package. Schools, again, just opportunity. If you look at school networks, water is scarce. We've heard from, Envirosan, and I think good, solid water storage on school and clinics is important. And this product that we manufacture gives that opportunity. Just a little series of photographs. Again, apologies for going fast, but I'm mindful of time. Just the fact that you can go into a very rural bush environment, build a ring beam, bring the panels in on the back of a bakkie. A few days later, you'll actually see the sequence of time. Less than 5 or 6 days later, you've built a reservoir and you've given over 500,000 liters of water to a community. Very quick, that photograph, I think, tells an amazing story. Day 1 arrival, day 2 in construction, and day 3 leave site. That's phenomenal speed of delivery. That's a much larger project, but again, just showing you how our product is put together. It's modular, and it's a Meccano set following a system. Large community-based tank there. And schools and clinics, again, just it's wonderful to work in an industry where you do make a difference, and we definitely do. Agricultural open top tanks are something we are able to do as well. And then this is most probably the slide that I see as the opportunity, and hence the little picture I put on the corner there. This is what we call our light tank. It's an ex-factory offering, and it would be sold into industry or into a sector that you are strong in through a distributor program. So this is an ex-factory product, and we would be seeking partners that would be able to buy it from us and market it themselves, and we would give the necessary training to the installation elements, the technical backing, and that to me is the opportunity that is at hand for today's conversation in your area of influence. Just a photograph, a Google map with pins showing you over 4,000 tanks that we've installed through the country. And you will actually just have a look there on screen. You'll know where you are located. Katu Checkers, by example, and a few other UMK at Hot as Hell. So that's your area where you are located, and the opportunities do exist, and there are working examples.
Okay.
Construction work is part of our product. So there is the building of concrete ring beams. And I do just make note, the one thing that those ring beams are is they have a very, very high tolerance, plus or minus 2 millimeters on the horizontal surface. There's the work in progress of some construction, pipe work being installed, photographs showing the process. Left top, day 1, then we build, then we lift the tank into the air, and then the finished product. Internals to show you what it looks like inside. And to my last slide, as I see it, Akash, I'm just stating to the team, I think the potential that exists is there are sales opportunities. It's not going to be like our earlier presenter. I don't have a manufacturing opportunity, but sales most definitely.
Yeah.
Installation in the form of offering services to assist existing SPS teams.
Yeah.
Because of the nature of what we build, and you're putting up 3 million liters of water, unfortunately, we have a responsibility. We are not able to offer installations ad hoc. We'd have to have assistance into an existing team. Construction services, perhaps, and then the LT reseller program, which is a non-exclusive, but it would be supported. I'm looking out, I've got 2 minutes. I think the process onward is that an expression of interest from any interested company, a little letter of motivation, a bit of expansion on why you'd want to partner with SPS, an overview of your network and area of influence. I think that info could be forwarded to Sigma, either Neil and Richard, for a review and evaluate, and then SPS would be happy to engage further.
Fantastic.
So there we go. Thank you.
Cool. Excellent. Now we'll stay 5 or 6 minutes more just to get a few more questions where I see one. So some of them, one's just an answer. Does a client get aftercare or ongoing aftercare if required, or ongoing maintenance? Is that offered?
So yes, there's a positive negative in this, is that our product has a very low requirement of maintenance. So have I stopped sharing? Maybe
yes.
My one question.
Yeah.
Yes, there is a maintenance opportunity for tanks that have been installed, but that would be by arrangement with the end user.
Okay, cool. Fantastic. Tomogo, your hand was up earlier. You still got a question? Let me just check. And anyone else? We got 5 more minutes or 6 more minutes. We're going to just, get the discussion. I think Delane has encapsulated, you have the opportunity for sales, some around some of the civils related work, or that, the factory, ex-factory lightweight product is also an option into it. So we just want to plant the seed for some ideas. Any questions for Delane?
Gosh, I saw one question. How's the water filled? The actual water source is out of the scope of SPS. That's usually by a client or with an engineering consultant. Yeah. We provide the vessel in which to store the water. We don't get involved in the source.
Okay, so they would get, but like when you say how they fill the water, is like physically filling the actual tank with like a tanker or something, right?
It differs. There's piped water, pumped water out of boreholes, etc. So each situation is different.
Okay, excellent. Cool. Pomza, I hope that answered your question. Colleagues, any other questions? Any other questions for this kind of application? I think Delane also mentioned, Katu checkers as an example, but around the mining precinct, this is not focused on one particular solution. So you can see within that rural ecosystem of Katu, Postmasburg, Kuruman, the broader Northern Cape, the opportunity lies for offering this particular product solution into it as well, colleagues. It is not a JoJo tank, so it's not an entry-level, plastic kind of vessel, as is Delane. The knockdown part of it is an amazing, ability or uniqueness where you can go build on different particular sites. And I think whether it's mining site, whether it's a rural, school or housing project, I think that gives it lots of flexibility. Cool. Seen tanks at Checkers, Katu. Somebody's seen your tank at the Katu Checkers. Okay, colleagues, if there's no other questions, Delane's going to share there. Toboko, you're going to put your hand up. You're going to ask your question. Is the tanks only suitable for water, or can you use the tanks for fuel, like diesel, Delane?
It's a good question, but regrettably, water and processes that surround water, yes, but fuels, no, because there's special legislation for the storage of fuels, so we don't comply.
Okay, fantastic.
Delane, does your tank also service fire services? So is it yes, geared towards fire water?
So as the one photograph would have shown, but yes, fire services, dust suppression on sites and that as well. But fire, yes, most definitely.
Okay, fantastic. Tomogo, your hand's up. If your hand's been up for a while, go for it. Just unmute yourself.
Yes, thank you. initially I wanted, the first time earlier, I wanted to ask what's the difference between the tanker and the Jojo tank, but I think as your presentation continued, I got an answer there. So I wanted to direct my question to the exact opportunity that you mentioned is available and relating to your presentation, which is the last tank that you presented. I don't know what you call it. Then can we maybe, I don't know if it's the right platform to go into the cost implications of that opportunity so that we can maybe determine if it's something of interest or something that we would want to pursue.
Sure. I think first and foremost, it is an opportunity, and the opportunity exists through your lens. Do you see something being able to be done in your area or through your business? That's the first question I would ask. The cost implications is I'm not selling a franchise or asking anybody to put money forward to become a partner. I have a product that comes out of a factory and it's available for you to purchase, make a markup, and also do the installation and the auxiliary works. So effectively, there's no cost at the point of entry or engagement. It's actually a business development opportunity in your area of influence. That's how I'd explain it. I don't know if that's satisfactory.
But I'm assuming you can pick it up off, like, what does one tank like that cost? You'll pick it up off on a separate discussion, right?
Yes, Akash, that's what I mean. If I want to buy it, how much does it cost?
I think it's not a fair question because unlike Builder's Warehouse or the Build It or Cash Build, you'll find 3 JoJo models and they'll have a price. We have a whole collection of models and they're all different.
Fantastic.
So I can't give you a price.
So let's pick up that in a separate, so Toboko, what he's saying is that it's configured for specific, different types of use, but it's not just one price fits all. Cool. Excellent. Colleagues, we're going to just close up and wind up. But Delaney, thank you so much. If you can please share your presentation, I'll on-share it. So colleagues, just on the last slide, we are different considerations for what are the opportunities, to engage or partner or to work with. I think more importantly, even beyond that, I think you looked at a capability that, for example, Delaney shared now, and of all the extensive work on the mine sites, whether you're in Kolomelo, whether you're in Shishin, or any of the other mines or activity, or even the rural communities, or the municipalities, or the district municipalities. I think you now got the capabilities to know, hey, we have access to one of these particular partners. So there might be opportunities that are low-hanging fruits that you want to engage on. But as for Delane, as he says, write a little bit about you, where you see the opportunity, and then and how you see it, and then send it off to Neil and Richard, and they will arrange a facilitation session for you as well. But colleagues, Delane, thank you very, very much. Stuart, Omar, deep, deep gratitude. I think the question is, post this session, if you are interested, you can reach out and we will start to facilitate one-on-one. We also want to make sure that we manage expectations. For the one that we mentioned with Omar, if there's a deep, deep dive, by looking at some of the other products and services, instead of doing it 10 times or 20 times together, we might arrange a second linkage session for you as well. But colleagues, thank you so much for your time. I don't know if there's any concluding remarks from you, Shamantha, Richard, and Neil.
No, Akash, just deep thank you to each of the speakers. I think they did so great on their presentations. And I really hope, that the participants, are going to take up some opportunities or maybe think of where they could possibly apply possible in their own businesses. But thank you so much to each of you. Thanks a lot.
Cool. Fantastic. Richard, Neil?
Yeah, no, thanks, Akash. I think it was wonderful, really great presentations and opportunities. And it's now up to our contractors to be proactive and to let us know what they think. Thanks.
Well, fantastic. Neil?
Yeah, no, I just want to echo what Richard and Shamantha said. Yeah, thanks to the presenters. They really, put it out as clearly as possible on how and where the collaboration opportunities are. And it's exciting. So it gives everyone the something to think about on how they could potentially partner up or use or leverage this type of network in the existing businesses wherever they can. So please take advantage of the opportunities where you can. Contact Richard and myself, and then we can see how the conversations can be taken forward. Thank you, Akash.
So fantastic. Colleagues, one last closing word for me. I'm already late for my meeting, but think of this as something that's put into your idea board in your minds. It's not only just do what you've been presented or think about how it fits into your world or your current states. Start giving it some thought. What about the new ideas? Think about what's being prioritized in terms of the local economic development plan in your particular district, in your particular municipality. Think about what are the opportunities about Anglo-American going green, looking at water saving. Look at this housing development. So go wild in trying to think of innovative linkages. The opportunity, our job was to make sure that we create the linkages, and we've had all three owners present in person to you. So if there is an interest in one of this area, or even not now, in coming weeks, stuff, reach out to Richard, reach out to Neil, and we'll get that conversation going. But just in closing remarks to Omar, to Stuart, and to Delane, deep, deep, deep gratitude. Thank you for taking the time and for investing it and talking to the 40 or so of us. And yep, oh my God, he's got a 65 years of life expectancy. Thank you so much, Delane. Thank you, colleagues. Marinda, thank you for arranging and facilitating. And we'll see you in a week's time on the next linkage session. God bless, and chat to you soon. And write to Neil and Richard if you want to pick up these conversations. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Akash.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.